And good evening. Alex Hanser here. We are live. And really, this is the ultimate time. This is the hour close to the midnight hour. It's Saturday night, folks. And we're going to watch chicks on the AA channel. Yeah. It was a big day today. I've been speaking all day long right here. But I don't think that you're all over there. A lot of you just are like, no, Mero, I'm just staying right here at your main channel. I'm not going here. And then some of you do. But ultimately, I have been suppressed and shadow banned pretty severely. And a lot of women don't understand this concept. And when they get on social media and they put out content regarding a lot of intelligent topics, there's a couple things that I want to say. First of all, good job to this woman for saying what she said. And then on that other channel, I was playing videos from her, and she says that women want men extinct and they don't want them to have anything. And the jobs they previously did where they built the cities and whatnot, now they're taking those jobs. And then she's showing photos and whatnot. And then I also looked at her videos. Okay, so I like what she has to say, but as far as the criticism, and I talked about it in the videos there. So we'll get started in a few minutes. Just some intro, talk about my videos from the other channel. There were a lot of thumbnails where it seemed like there was a big focus on her being super pretty. She's super pretty. So what there is there's a big market. There's a big market for pretty women verbally telling truth. Are they telling the whole truth? Well, no one knows the whole truth. And are there things that are evil about them? I will tell you that I do not hurt women, hunt women, that type of thing. When I talk about the evil that men do, there's like a science to understanding that there are some men that do wicked things because they don't believe in spirituality. They believe in do as thou wilt. Then there are also women also. Basically, I'm very hyper psychically aware right now of the rise of bad, really cruel, satanic, demonic men and women that are against other men and women that we can't necessarily call angelic because we're human. We shit and piss. But other humans that are not on the demonic path, other humans that either are neutral or trying to elevate themselves. And there are many signs that I see of what appears to be innocent people that are getting killed right now. Elderly people, you know what I mean? People that should not be harmed. And I believe that's a big no-no for elderly people to be socked in the face, things of that nature. Again, the other night we did some videos, and you did not see the videos of the news. It was just me talking and then going silent. That was an accident. So in the future, we'll be covering unrest videos back to back, but there's going to be certain themed videos like tonight where we showcase positive things that women are saying. But let me complete my point. The trap that we men can fall into is worshiping women, the perception of good women that are then going to save us from the bad women, right? Now, she wrote this or she spoke of this 2 weeks ago, and it has 156,000 subscribers. So we'll go to her channel now. This video was played earlier, and then I stopped playing the video and then came over here. So we'll look at the channel. The first thing that I said in the other video, I can guarantee there's nothing here about World War III, Afghan Lives Matter, 9/11, certainly not the surveillance society. I don't want to be critical of a woman just because she's beautiful, but you can see in here, oh, she's in New York City. I would like to know a New Yorker. I would like to know her. I would like to come to New York City. I would like to come to New York City. Well, this is how I move, y'all. I move at lightning speed.
In order for me to create, I need to feel connected to it. Just like a real artist. In order for an artist to create,
She won't.
it needs to resonate with him.
She won't. I'm a short brown male, but I made myself available if she wanted to connect, if God wanted to activate her or the Gaia Matrix. But do you think a woman that looks like that would ever be seen with a guy that looks like me? Would it elevate her status? Do I need to put a text poll out there? The answer is no. She'll look at me and go, how many subscribers do you have? You know, just ask me how big my dick is or ask me for a dick pic. Fuck. Like, if you want status, talk to me for a few minutes to gauge if I have status, because the status is there. You just have to dig a little bit, talk. There's status, but it's not just oozing out on the front level like a diamond and shit. It's going on national radio. Have you been on national radio? Have you written books? Do you like good men? Do you? Yeah, it's a question for you, honey, before you hear your voice, because we can see how you can pull us in through your beauty, and you have the ability, honey, to make men angry at women to where they hurt them, because you're straight saying that women want us dead. You do realize that some men will listen to what you're saying and take action, right? Men need to be very cautious when women will lead them down a path of losing their shit. But it is wise to be aware that women are acting like they want us extinct, but we shouldn't. I don't think men are going to disrespect me for that, but they don't even help me. So, I can't cater to men just to get you to like, you know what I mean? They mess with the likes. And now that my whole life and your whole life and our whole interaction is down to you liking, and that's it. Bro, as a man right now with the penis, you can't say that we have hope if all we do is just like and dislike. You know what I mean? A special hello to anybody that might be disliking. I don't look at dislikes, so I don't know if you're disliking this video, but I'm sure you're out there. I know you're out there somewhere disliking, but I don't feel it, but I don't see it. Sometimes I look and I go, oh, why don't you like me? I'm going to make the video private. And so women live in a very different alien species world where they can talk about the topics that men built like her, right? And then they can become millionaires and live in high-rise apartments telling men the truth that they knew the whole time. They can be their private dancer, eh? And the algorithm, which prefers blue eyes, blonde hair, this is not an anti-white argument to talk about programming and coding within YouTube. Furthermore, there's a hater of mine. I don't know if he watches all the videos, but he seems to think I'm a misogynist who hates women. And he's complaining about being oppressed on his videos where he uses a chipmunk voice instead of a real voice. Okay. Dude, women are manipulating shit behind the scenes at YouTube. There's a lady named Susan, used to be the CEO at YouTube, and they heavily suppress MGTOW videos. He's saying that they're promoted. Just because men are criticizing women doesn't mean that they're misogynistic. So this guy is in a very bad space in his mind. You know what I mean? And I don't see how he's promoting good women. That's an unusual type of deep white knight. And so there are men that have been driven crazy by the woman's world. And this person here, just from the thumbs, I would love to be able to talk with her and for her to show me she does care about those issues I talked about. She just doesn't believe that they should be on her channel. But for her to really be different than the evil women, not talking about those issues and having a whole row of images that look identical like this. This caught my eye. See how they're all identical? That super identical, like all in line, seems reminiscent of something. Do I really need to say it? Right? But she has some interesting things to say. So what I'm doing in the 10-minute intro is going, we need to be objective when we're gathering info and intel. And you do need to understand that there is a line that women have crossed where they do engage in content where women are abused, and they teach men to abuse women, and they abuse women with men on porno tapes. And it's like one big party. And usually this is about the time that people stop watching. And you're still there. Good on you. Glove clap. Cookie. But that's the thing. I can be psychic and talk about a certain area and predict in 5 seconds, someone's going to say, I can't watch this anymore. And in 5 seconds, boom, 3 viewers goes to 2. Still 3. Good. Glove clap. So understand, we are psychically connected when you come in. And this is why some people are afraid of me. And I really don't think women need to be. I'm trying hard for peace here. And right now there's peace here, but it's not at the level really to where I feel safe with intimacy. You know what I mean? Right now I'm feeling very alone, and I just need to be alone right here. And so we're in our own little cube worlds, and it hurts right here. There's no screaming going on except for me in the videos, but there's a pain here that won't go away. And what am I doing? I'm not looking at porno at the moment. I'm looking at her. But does it feel that I've escaped porno? Looking at her, no. It's the same reality. Why? Because it's a screen. I'm going to the screen for my gnosis. I'm going to the screen for my spirituality. And you spend too much time in that porno world, in the world of anger, and you don't believe in spirituality, and you're a bad person, you have guns, and you've killed before, and you have training and killing, which a lot of men do, and you're on the dark side of MMA, you can take that info about women being evil and take action. And so with the solar flares activates that heart wound. And what I think that we need to be doing is having healthy discussions about healing it.
The world is getting so contradicting. It's actually
I believe that someone can, like her though, do a lot of good by waking people up. And so she's doing what she can do at her level. She's doing the best she can. Who knows where she's living? Looks like a place where someone rides horses. Does not look like it's the ghetto in Los Angeles, but a place where it's safe, where there's nature, where she's hopefully cared for. But I have not yet seen the women of this culture, even though there's a woke movement, recognize the worship of the big black cock, for example. Tall men, white men and black men, and like ignoring everybody else. And Latino men are super popular here. So I cannot say that Latino men or like even illegals are victims or are like, there's plenty of like illegal aliens in America that have like shitloads of girlfriends, like in the Latino culture, but like I'm nothing to them, you know? So I'm definitely not focusing just on white men and black men, but even Latino men are very popular. And then Hindu men sometimes can be very popular and sexual with the ladies. So Sandman says, suggesting that they are actually used for sexual purposes. My assumption is because those of us that have ancestry, may be profiled as being super sexual, prana-wise. I know one vampire reptilian hybrid that duped me into moving in with her years ago, and her husband went from me to a soldier to a Hindu.
insane.
That's an interesting combination.
That they get away with some of the stuff that they post on the internet. I want to talk about something that I saw this morning. It's
I knew it was
from
the Hindu dude. I knew it was all about the kink.
New York Post.
I'm like, oh yeah, Hindu dude. All right, yeah, I'm picking up on this one real strong.
And it's saying more women are skipping college to make 6 figures as electricians, car mechanics, and truck drivers. So it's just a random fact that they're pushing onto the internet. They're just basically saying, oh, and look at the pictures. Can I just show you the pictures?
When I go to the gym, and you probably saw in the background some women squatting, with their big butts. It's like that. There's not like a sense of, you feel me? Can I get an amen? There's not a sense of, hey, you want to bang in the back? It's more like, don't fuck with me. And I'm sitting there rocking the bag. There's nothing about a spiritual man that is dangerous, that is attractive to women that I know now. Maybe in the past, and maybe if you really got a chance to know someone and got through that mind control that the woman is under. Because I really am at war still with this idea per se that women are evil. It's more like there's an alien program. Same thing with white supremacy and men. There's an alien program. And the white woman supremacy and yoga is definitely an alien hate program of ethnic men that also have their truth, their Tai Chi wills, their value. The women that I have met that have approached me don't believe that I have value and will only talk to me if I'm going to be in a subservient state of consciousness to them and being nice to them, trying to offer them therapy, Zoom discussions is viewed with suspicion. But mind games and insults and threats over emails, many of them find to be normal. And I save all this stuff, the cruel stuff that people do, the mind games, sending memes of images of being sent to hell with demon fire. Like, oh, wow, what the fuck is this shit? Like really cruel shit is popping up. And so we're not to then go, oh, then hurt the women, but go, okay, this is why this has to be kept in the pants and away and out of the bodies of. And I get the telepath from an evil one. who sent me one that said the following, and you could have had this. Well, why would I want that? Why would you think that I would want that? I want it. I know that that's rancid. And then again, they hate the psychic man who believes that too much fornication with bad male seed or sperm is a bad thing. That's bad for a man like me who's a super empath to have sex with women that have sex with evil men. Now, I don't know what it's like to be in some, polygamous cult or center where all the people are spiritual and loving and believe that my life matters. It doesn't exist. If you're fucking people off the street or off Craigslist, they're fucking people off apps. And if that's the case, all types of demons are going into that butt, that booty, that face, that mouth, that hair. Don't unsub. Don't unfollow. Learn from what I'm saying. I literally walked the mall today, right? We're going to play that song, I Walk These Streets. I walked the mall today. I want you to see what I've been. I want you to see how much work I've been putting out in the last day if you choose to come over and watch over at the second channel. And even though this is a channel that's only been around for like, a year or two and only been super active for a while, 401 videos and really took off recently. We don't hardly see any views on some of the videos, right? You're going to look at it right now and see there's hardly any views. Give me a sec. I call it the sun cycles of war and peace. So if you can remember that, you people and screaming at your car through a megaphone. You can literally be driving down the street one day. You might find yourself, thank you for the like. You might find yourself in New York City screaming down the street. You might find yourself in DC. You might be on a bus. Hey, check out my son's YouTube channel. Write down on a piece of paper. My son's a good son. The sun cycles of war and peace. Doesn't even say a surname. So there you go. Doesn't even have a surname on it. Okay. But people know who I am. But the thing is, I wanted to create an experiment without the surname to see if the algorithm would give me more views. Okay. And what I can see, we're going in it now, 49 views. 43 views. These are news clips. 152 views. So some of it, and then we go over here and we go live. And I'm not going over all the titles. I'm just showing you live what we've got here. This is what I just worked on tonight. 2 hours right here. This woman is talking about entities, God, Jesus, drugs, and loneliness, and she's breaking down and crying. This is me going to an ASMR video and jokingly talking about why basically in this world of darkness, an AI chatbot is basically nicer than a real human female right now, or even men. I'm telling you over and over that the nice guys finish last thing doesn't apply just to women, but a lot of men that watch me too. By trying to life coach men for free all the time, like women, they just take and take and take and take and take and take and take. And a lot of them won't pop up and say anything unless they're just going to talk some shit. You know what I mean? It's just, it's the matrix. It's not so much the gender or the race. It's the shit talking matrix. They've never known good people. They've never known spiritual people. This whole YouTube world is about acting like you're on a race car track and just running somebody off the road and shit. And so basically it's like this, a little bit of intimacy. You're not showing me any hate. What's your name again? Dirty SA? Oh, that's interesting. Would you like to cook some food? But do you want me to go get some good steak? So, the point's being made. We are being turned into a zombie apocalypse. A woman with pink hair on this channel who's black said that I should get looked at for schizophrenia because I am a man who's not black, who's not white, who's talking about the battle of evil. Maybe she talks shit to all the brothers too. Who knows what's going on? But women are possessed, many of them, with a hatred of men that have a deep spiritual seed and knowledge. They'll come in for the juju when it's carnal time, when you're drinking, when you've lowered your frequency, when you're spraying your prana all over the place in an irresponsible manner. But when you clean up your mouth, you clean up your act, and you start focusing your message in a more poignant way, the women disappear and fucking run. When I do podcasts at Starbucks, I talk for the first time out in the open, 2 women looking them directly in the eyes about these things, and they don't stop to say, oh, we like men that want to fight human trafficking. Wow, you're weird. They don't even flinch. Did you hear what I said? They don't even flinch, and I don't get emails. And so this is real, folks. This is a real war that is happening. I was in a lot of pain from dehydration today. I drank last night. I don't have a drinking problem. I more or less suffer from the stress of the loneliness of not having, say, a person in my life to hang out with. You know, and so it has been, we have, see, I think that this is unique, and there is like a martial arts knowledge within me, but it's like, there's no likes. If there is a like, it's my own. Whatever I'm doing with the martial arts stuff, a lot of people find it be inferior. So I'm noticing a stark parallel with the criticisms that men have of women, and me just seeing that in my audience wholesale in the men and the women. Does that make sense? Bitches be this is it. Bitches be that. You mean the bitches and the men be? More men watch me, but they don't support me financially. Yet I bleed a lot for men and give men lots of free info, off grid. A lot of times men like to use me for what I call carnal knowledge. Some men are just straight up, so how do I fucking get laid, bro? As if I'm the guy for that. I won't mention his name. One person who accused me of being lustful and talking shit threw me on the bus. In 2009, a private phone call straight up changed the conversation on me and was asking me for like fuck tips. And I chastised him for 10 minutes straight, going, don't you ever talk to me like I'm Mr. Lustful. Give you fucking fuck tips. I mean, you're wasting my fucking time, dude. Are you mentally retarded? 5 years later, you're lustful. You're no good. You got to really be careful of these modern men, man. Should I even blame these women? I don't. I understand. I try to be empathetic. Today, I went to the mall and handed out 20 cards and went full on alpha. Okay. You will take the card. I didn't call them bitch and hoe. I didn't pull their hair, but I made them take the card. It wasn't a request. Some people, I started a request because I'm like, wait a minute, you're evil, right? You really don't want this card. They're like, yeah, I don't really want this card. Yeah, I'm so fucking, my hair is dyed. I'm a crazy little petite white girl who doesn't care about human trafficking. I so fucking won't trust you. You're so a nice guy. Fuck you, dude. And it was like that. It's like that with Walmart chicks. Walmart chicks are all screwed up in the fucking brain. Every single one of them. However, you go to the mall chicks where we're walking and they're in leisure, that's a different situation. Some of them, they're going to be receptive. They might take the card and go, OnlyFans? No, honey. Truth and Jesus. Oh, and it's sadly like that. Like literally, supposedly there's churches. No, there's cults. You can't find real Christians here. If you do, they're like, oh yeah, I'm Christian. They're just saying the minimum to not get punched in the face or something. I ask a couple women some questions. They're lesbians. They won't answer me because I'm a man. And then later on, I run by them and then they jump away because they feel my energy. And I respond by saying, you women, you want to get rid of our world or get rid of good men, and then find yourself in hell, basically. All right? Who knows how they took that? And so it's like copying the waste of talent. When we make women God, we sin before God, and women weaken legs.
Yeah, there was some guy at Miles Juggins looking for you. They need sparring partners for Apollo.
That's about the fapping.
Who was it here? About an hour ago.
They'll probably look for sparring partners for Creed,
I said that before, you dumb dago.
I've been coming in for 6 years. In 6 years, you've been sticking it to me. I want to know how come.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, I want to know how come.
No.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. Because you had the talent to become a good fighter. And instead of that, you became a leg breaker.
You got into fake news.
Second-rate Lone Star.
TikTok.
It's a living?
It's a waste of life.
Fucking bitches and shit. Stupid crackheads. Adrian's a fucking bitch, bro. She gave me a blowjob. Adrian, don't you ever talk shit about Adrian. The thing is, I'm starting to think I'm a really funny guy, but because I'm not on stage, I can't hear you laugh. So it's like I might actually be funny, but how the fuck would I know? Don't you think I'm funny? Da, 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 da. We need to have like somebody getting like clips of me, like doing the good shit, funny shit, like being nice and, you know. Oh, so sweet. We need like a female fan out there. No fat diet. That's me, day 10. That was me. Day 10. Couldn't take it no more. This Latina lady was looking at me. I literally she was so hot. I was racing to run from her. She was so hot. She was looking at me like that motherfucker.
Underneath.
No fat.
Underneath. Oh, come on. Hold it, Rock, will you? You drive me crazy. It's a sloppy because you're off balance. Let's try this. Now take this string, tie it to both angles, leave about 2 feet of slack.
I ain't never had good footwork.
On that topic, though.
Now you're off balance. Now
Here.
Marciana. And the same problem. And
I'm sure a certain amount of you have heard of the Wolf of Wall Street movie.
this string cured it. Is the idea that if you can move and you can hit without breaking the string, you can balance become a very dangerous place. You follow?
We're looking good. Thanks.
Let's go. Yeah, that's it. Underneath it.
Rock.
I find this seem to be alert
to success
ultimately
in the broker business. First of all, you got to stay relaxed. Yeah. You jerk off?
Do I jerk off? Yeah. Yeah, I jerk off, yeah.
How many times a week?
Like three or four times, maybe.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket. I myself, I jerk off at least twice a day.
Wow.
Once in the morning, right after I work out, and then once right after lunch.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Okay? I want to. That's not why I do it. I do it because I need to. Think about it. You're dealing with numbers all day long. High frequencies. Bang, bang, bang. All very acidic, above the shoulders, mustard. All right?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of can wake some people
are
out.
we still live? Are we still?
Okay. And then there's a woman who reposts it, putting her own opinion, putting her own twist on it, saying, since men are too busy with podcasts, someone has to do the real jobs. First of all, the first contradicting thing that this woman said was that a podcast is not a job. Already belittling the man, already belittling the work it takes to even have a podcast. Already belittling the man, saying the man is choosing the easier job. It's not a real job, contradicting herself. And then also contradicting the fact that men were working the real jobs. Men still work the real jobs. Women never gave men the credit for working these jobs. They were just jobs. They were just doing the bare minimum.
By the way,
now, since a woman is doing it, it's a real job. What?
Under the sun, even women should be feeling what Meg Ryan displayed when Harry met Sally.
And quite honestly, wouldn't you rather have a man working in finance than have a real job? Contradicting yourself. I don't understand the concept of women wanting their own empowerment, but also wanting their man to have this real job. I don't understand it. This woman contradicts herself by saying that men are too busy with podcasts. But didn't you want a man in finance? Didn't you want a man of high value? Didn't you want a man that made money? Because with a podcast, you can make lots of money. You can be this high value man with a podcast. You can still be a high value man working this real job.
This needed to be said, not if you're me and you're talking about the things that I do and you marginalize yourself, play victim, share traumas. You want to be a successful man as a podcaster before women. You want to seem smart and be popular. Like, what type of podcast, right? Yeah, there's a lot of podcasts. I'll tell you what, I've been busting my ass making podcasts. I think I already talked about the off-grid thing. Wasn't visited by any good women. Had my heart broken by one woman who slept with me and left me on the land. then emailed me later and blamed me, acted like I used her when she just stopped talking to me. And I was really disturbed by that. That was a mind fuck. That was a mind fuck. That was a mind fuck. And I didn't appreciate that emotional wound. I wish that person had never even broken my heart like that and then blame me for it. That's not what I wanted. And then for that person to mimic like they would have had a relationship with me or even get this, lived with me. No fucking way. That's horrifying to even think that people would even hint at living with you when they break your heart like that. Like you literally can be destroyed by a woman if you move in with the wrong woman who decides to, let me tell you a story about Steve Baggs. Let's go. Go ahead. Continue.
But the women were complaining about that too. We as women, we complain about absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. We can't ever be happy. When a man has a real job, it's not a real job. It's just a job. But when a woman has a job, it's a real job.
The other thing, I see this video has to come up again. Right now, we have the era of the women replacing men on a lot of levels, including topics on YouTube with algorithms. Which ones am I going to bring up now? Van life, being the hot pretty girl with 200,000 views in a car talking about being homeless. Gypsy Fox talked about that also. Okay, we have the women playing superheroes who no longer need men to protect them. And then we have the women, and I just happen to be talking about this out of coincidence right now. I'm just bringing it up again, watching extra gratuitous violence by superhero movies like Deadpool, which I found to be a very horrible movie and very disturbed that people would pay money to watch stuff that's so violent, that's so like bam, 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 that's so like archonic satanic to me, to be turned on by fast pounding men beating each other up. You know what I mean? Like I'm hurt by that. I'm hurt by that people would like want to see that shit and not want to, box with me, or play some slap fun with me or slap me or do anything with me of a fighting nature. I want positive training with women. Okay. I need it. Okay. I feel like I'm a teacher from another lifetime and I need it. Okay. Watching people do this stuff and watching women. So let me get back to my point. Then there's the era of the women. Okay. Talking about conspiracies, talking about entities, like, you can do this, but I can do it better. Now that we're waking up to the evil of many women, women are there to somewhat maybe be the saviors from it all on so many different levels. And it's a trap. It's a trap to fall into dependence and to think that they can guide us. And there's a dark side to you need balance. Sure, you might understand that women are evil, but don't become a killer or something. Still be, I think, a protector, but they don't want my help. No one on earth wants me to teach them self-defense. So I believe that's evil. And I'm telling you why I believe that's evil. Why? From a non-misogynistic perspective, I'm saying y'all are evil if you're not going to have me train you in anything. Okay? You need to understand why I'm saying this to everybody that can hear me. That I was born to be a teacher, and for me to be sitting like some person every day with nobody to talk to is a death sentence for a guy like me. Okay? Being surrounded in an environment where they don't want me here. They don't want to see my face. When they see my face, they're like, it's that guy. I want to hear women freeing themselves from the mind control under the basically.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
The scene.
Yes. 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 Oh. Oh. Yes. 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 Oh. Yes.
He's a case we're on the radio and we're not. Oh, everybody's watching this lady going, what the fuck? And they're at a diner and they're a mainstream diner like that.
Yes.
Like, what's wrong with this? You can't do that in public.
Yes. Yes.
It's not really clear why she started to do this.
Yes.
But it's the same. This is the most famous movie scene of all time. Yes. Next to I'll Be Back.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
I've never heard anybody make sounds like that. Never, ever from the females I fornicated have heard them do the ASMR soft whisper in the ear thing.
Oh, God. Oh.
All the sex that I had was really boring, really bland. Even the adventurous stuff was nothing to speak of. Just animalistic, nothing with nothing human scumbags.
Go through the Bob the Builder route just to be called a man.
In the end, you understand what I'm saying, that these women are sperm collectors for aliens and shit, right? I don't care if you call it schizoid. Okay, now you can find women that talk about entities, aliens, alien probes. You can find women that write books about getting raped in military bases by aliens. Okay, So women have a privilege, massive privilege, saying they're psychic, saying they're this, saying they're this, saying they're this. And we as men, we're beaten down a lot, when in fact we could be more athletic than we're being credited. I can just go on and on. There's a pattern to what I'm saying here, okay? And it's not a pattern that leads to a war on women, but an education. If there's any intelligence going on, they got to realize that this type of programming on the computers has changed the view of the man itself. These people in this community have no future. I would be freaked out if I grew up here, really freaked out. I'd be really freaked out and really troubled. I can't find any spiritual man with a penis, okay, to talk to me and look me in the eye at all. And these people are supposedly great boxers, according to the A-man, you know, this culture. Oh, yeah, they're great boxers. Well, they don't want to box with me. No, I want a single one of them. Okay, I want some dude to try to act like he's beating me up or something. Throw a swing, bro. I need to work on that circular motion. Like, the bro energy isn't here. The thug energy, yes. Thug life, yes. Don't look at my woman, yes. Hey, maybe you should look at my woman. Yes, that too. Look at my pretty Latina wife. Isn't she so sexy? Isn't she so sexy? Dude, why are you doing that? And your children, you fucking piece of shit. Why do I have to live amongst you pieces of shit? Showing your wife's ass like that. You're a piece of shit. No wonder these women won't date me. No wonder they look at me with that face like her, because your asses tried to fuck them before I got here.
And even then, you don't
that
even.
That is a bigger statement. I'm talking about men that were born before me. I'm talking about my dad. I'm talking about my grandpa. I'm talking about men that lived in the 60s, that raped women, that got away with it before cameras. Like, men had a lot of privilege that they pissed away. They helped fuck shit up for the next generation of men that came. Didn't mean that they had perfect lives, but you know, a lot of women were mistreated in the 70s and 80s, from what I can tell. There's plenty of cinema that shows us that, okay? And plenty of women walk the streets without protection, and pimps also, and were killed. Pimps aren't good, but one of the reasons sometimes they have a pimp or a male around is so they don't get whacked, right? It is a safety measure, but unfortunately, not that I'm an expert in this. I'm just speaking intuitively and practically. It is the nature then of the pimp, though, to dominate the woman like property. And for her to stay in that situation and act like property is a product of the mind slave complex. Now, I'm not attacking this woman. It's a nice video, but I would like to get inside her mind and see if she does value life around the world, and just leave it at that. If she's ever been anti-war, and if she really has a strong resistance to that, what's the real reason? Would it be fearing status? It's the men in her life. And where is that beautiful land? Just curious. She's like riding horses somewhere. It's like something out of some, country club setting. Definitely not a backdrop that is screaming suffering. And when you have view counts of that kind, you can command massive, like if you basically tell men what they want to hear from even a self-help perspective, she, as a hot chick who's like the preferred body type for most men, can basically live rent-free, travel around, and as a beautiful woman can stay with tall, black, white men, maybe Latino, usually those three, usually usual suspects, right? And stick to that and basically live a pleasurable life because she's benefiting. Is the algorithm promoting an obese woman who's telling the truth? Or is she showing me a woman with a tight body, super bony, that men would just salivate over? You understand? So we have to be careful in being educated by these women that could actually lead us back into that same unconsciousness of what? Of what? Just being what? Go ahead and say it. Starts with an S. You have 5 seconds to come up with it. Here, what is it? Selfish, self-centeredness. According to the book of AA, that is the root of our problems. So if men then go full dark side, black pill, just about men ejaculating to women, women being no good, women being evil, then you have a dark future erupting where really nobody cares about human trafficking. We have to resist women and fight women peacefully, showing us signs that they are becoming evil and they are worth nothing. We have to convince them they're worth something, short of kidnapping them and putting them in re-education camps. We have to somehow educate them through YouTube videos consensually that they have value. Do you understand what I'm saying? If these people truly valued their ass and their lives and cared about other women, trust me, I would know it. Okay, so we are straight up being manipulated by alien forces. Not that this is new info for you, but that has to be what's going on. Not necessarily misogyny, misandry, but a deeper foul system. Listen, I myself can't bring myself to do Afghan History Month because it's such great trauma. So it is possible the trauma of rape, the fear women do live in, is so great that they can't even look in the direction of human trafficking. In the same way that I have a very hard time reading war crime news about Afghans being tortured to death. And I have visions about those things too. Let's just do that for 1 minute of pain and go back to her talking. Visions of people being detained overseas that were forced to be in saunas that were never allowed to leave. Where do these thoughts come from? Thoughts of anal rape, thoughts of, things that we know of that they did admit, like sleep deprivation, lots of that. And then thoughts of people being forced to eat candy and not being allowed to brush their teeth. So just random thoughts that enter my head into real shit that they did to people, that real Americans did in Afghanistan and Iraq, and they came back to fuck their wives again and act like nothing happened, and they live amongst us. Monsters. And I hate these people. And I have driven around this town willing to be shot in the head, telling them how much I hate them. Do you understand what I'm saying to you at this time? Willing to be shot in the head. That's hardcore. I'm committed. I don't want to be shot in the head. But for me to be in such a vulnerable state of mind where I don't care if someone kills me, it should tell you there's something fundamentally wrong, and I'm not a loved human being, because no human being who felt like he was loved would ever play with their life like that in traffic. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Nobody who really felt loved would ever play with their life like that.
You don't give him that reassurance. You belittle him by saying that he needs a business. He needs to start a business.
You know, this pattern of people, women spilling the beans about women belittling, negative affirmations, belittling. You're this, you're that, belittling. And then bombardment of the belittling during SOAR maximums causes bad things. I'm not going to self-destruct or harm others, but these other men, there are things happening behind the scenes that we don't know about, unfortunately. Doesn't mean the women deserved it, but you are not there and I'm not there behind the scenes where these shootings are taking place. What is happening? These people are emotional, they're immature, and a lot of people shouldn't own guns that own guns now. And some people own guns and they don't have the proper gun for what they're going to need the gun for. You know what I mean? And there is not enough emphasis on martial arts, and yet there's too much of an emphasis on watching the movies of the martial arts.
Be even better than being Bob the Builder.
MMA has really gotten people into the ground fighting thing, which is important for rape defense. But many women can never risk going to the ground if there's multiple people, and men. You can't risk going to the ground. You have to be a knockout artist and master like circular motion, Wing Chun, Chi Sao, whatever it takes for you to be very good at getting away from a punch. And so masculinity, even femininity, Wing Chun was developed for a woman, according to the official story of Kung Fu, Wing Chun Kung Fu. It was made for a woman to help her fight back against a man who's going to force her to marry him. So I know that it is in our ancestry to try to teach women how to fight, which is what I appreciate about some Asian women, which I'd love an Asian woman to talk to, and gave a speech today at the mall about how war is coming, but we need to protect the Chinese people. I was just acting crazy, basically talking and sweating like I do. But I felt that they were beaming at me. I felt more light and smiles speaking up for the Chinese people than any racial demographic. And here I am talking about the Chinese threat all the fucking time. You think those Chinese people would appreciate hearing me talk like that? You do understand that I have feelings, right? That I understand that I've hurt people's feelings, Asian people's feelings.
When Bob the Builder, girl, you look like Bob the Builder. What? Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it because women just want to take over the world. Women want men extinct. That's just the outcome I've come to. That's the whole problem. Women are tired of men. Like, they don't want men to have anything. Even if they start a podcast, even if they were to make money passively and can go travel the world and live their best life, it's not a real job. What? That's fine, girl. That's fine. We can freaking switch places. A man can go be the influencer and you can stay at home and not stay at home. You can go freaking work the freaking construction job.
I'm moving
is that what you want?
Like 1 year now. I'm moving into it's now the 1 year. Oh my God, it's like right now the 1 year anniversary, like within days of me coming back to the internet. And it feels like I'm moving into like a real job, but there's no money. But all the gold that I have is non-physical. It's in my auric field. And it scares the shit out of these females. Would it scare her? if we got beyond certain things and we were to meet. But you see, these influencers, which she is, right? But she's a good girl. She wants to be hugged. She's okay with that. Okay, good. But I would have to go through lots of powerful, smart, intelligent, witty, less traumatized men that would be more someone that you're attracted to. I wouldn't be able to get your attention, in other words. So there's just the reality of me being a short man, having to wade through all the other men on top of this. And so my situation is particularly precarious when there's tall, good-looking white men, black men, and they're having trouble getting some. See what I'm saying? That means the problem is really bad, and that I should always take it personal what I'm going through. And that's something that the men need to hear that may falsely think that all the women are going brown. And I'm telling you, time and time again, some of them are going to like some of the crazy immigrants because they're like that. They certainly don't like me. And I've figured it out because they'll like non-white and white. It's frequency, it's energy. Having said that, I'm going to be speaking a little bit more. I don't really have the facts on it, but I'm just speaking from a practical sense. This whole Bluetooth in the head thing that you see with the people and all that. This is almost like a microchip in the head. It is a microchip in the head. And that's what came to me when I was at the clothing store today. And I see the black woman, and part of me is like, give that black woman a card, but I still have not done that. I don't think I've ever, I know I gave a black security guard who is borderline autistic and retarded, although I didn't know that. I talked to him today and realized that he had a mental condition because I got lost and couldn't find my car. I thought that maybe he was rude in the way that he had to smirk and he was listening to me when I was talking to him, and he was just doing this naughty thing. I'm like, dude, you're not even listening. You're being arrogant. When I was talking to him today, I realized he's an older man who was slow. He didn't do nothing wrong, and he confirmed to me the mall's safer than I think. In other words, I'm making assumptions about that mall. Those black teens are a little bit more behaved than, I thought, although there's been some shootings. So what I'm saying is I am constantly trying to reel in my own programming and trying to fight the evil. And what does the evil in this world want me to do and believe? Well, the evil can go in a number of ways and get me to think that all the women are angels or whatever, which is evil, put them before God. But to think that they're all good, to think they're all good, they're all angels, but then to think that they're all evil and worthy of punishment would also not be good either. There's got to be good ones on the earth, and I still believe that aren't fully programmed, that don't have a voice, that are being raped mentally. And that's why I want to meet someone like her one day. That's why I hand out these cards. And today I was forceful. I was a nice guy, but I tried not to be so nice and scared the shit out of a bunch of women. So you take this card, you will come to the channel, you will watch. And they're like, okay, yeah, they're having to you're taking the card now, bye. And then I get out of there in 5 seconds flat. I created quite the scene at a suit place and started throwing cards everywhere, screaming at the tall, pretty white Latinas.
Because all you're doing
how
is
I was a short brown man of value, but they wouldn't see that and told them why. And they're like, oh, fuck.
Killing the man and putting yourself
here's some cards,
where he used to be.
Do you think they would have even gotten curious to see what's on the fucking website?
We are getting carried away as women.
Again, I'm psychic. I know in 5 seconds when someone's going to stop watching. In 5, 4, 3, 2. There they go. It's because of what I said. We had enough. There's a little too much habanero spice on that taco.
We are getting carried away with belittling the man.
All the women belittle me. So whatever she's talking about is real, and we need to handle it non-violently. You notice how I'm saying this all the time? Because the whole agenda is to get women so vicious towards men that the men kill them. That's what I believe. I believe women are so insane now. They will push men until they do crazy shit. And they don't care about the snuff films. The videos made in Portland and places where they pretend to murder the woman and choke her to death. The fact that people would watch that and get off watching that is really demonic. I sent Subject F, which is a former girlfriend, an email saying that was happening in Portland, and she totally ignored it. She has ignored like 90% of emails, and the only reason we were emailing again is because when I was, okay, won't talk about that, can't talk about certain things, but yeah, something was said that created guilt, regarding my words about Emily. And so I felt so belittled that I opened up an email and I went, I'm sorry, and groveled. What do you think that woman thought about me? What do you think she said? Well, you said don't talk to you, so. And so I said, well, I don't remember, but it was short, but you don't, I was so, it was something about it. She doesn't communicate with me, If you want to communicate with me. I don't, but she's in another relationship, so she's not obligated. And I've never been that guy to be like, you won't talk to me. But this woman was always a polygamist, you know what I mean? So I know that when she was with me, she was with other dudes. So it's me emailing her and not even making romantic demands, never sent a dick pic, never, all I did was fall in love with her. This woman is beautiful, but it's like looking into those eyes of kindness and understanding. There's spiritual beauty and there's carnal beauty, And it's really sad when you do see a spiritual beauty in a porn girl, when she's being used by bad man because she has a spiritual beauty, and they're basic. She's giving her energy to badness, not her, but porn girls. But we don't know that she's not. And so that's why porn is bad, even if we're addicted to it, because it's bad men getting what used to be daddy's little girl. And then you've got these songs, somebody's daughter, she's somebody's daughter. And then I got to tell you have these horrible porn videos that are highly edited, highly fast, highly violent, saying, yeah, she's somebody's daughter. That's the fucking point. Exactly. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we've become. And then imagine a woman masturbating to a video going, yeah, she's somebody's daughter. Yeah. No, you need to stop unfollowing me and being a little bitch when I go this. These people, let's see how many people just stop following. No, you're still 7 people are there. You need to hold that attention and start addressing this aggressively like it's a street fight. What is going on? Don't tell me that we're naturally this barbaric in the bedroom. I don't believe it. I'm going to keep talking about this. No, I'm going to talk about many of the categories that are on porn sites. I don't understand why they're there. What I look at is very mild, actually, compared to where they've taken it. They have taken it to a place that's anti-human. You understand? And they have animations. You don't have truthers exposing this shit, bro. You have carnal motherfuckers that are embarrassed to be all about it. They don't want to talk about it. There's articles you can read from Chris Hedges that will tell you in a mainstream article.
Has his own.
That's where men end
train of thought.
When women refuse
we are
to touch them.
The soul away from the man. Like, a man cannot just be a man anymore. In order for a man to be a man, he has to literally, like, I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you because these women are so contradicting. They put themselves where the man is in order to understand it. Like, a woman cannot understand a man, and it's just crazy because a man is so simple.
It's also set up. The society, I think, is set up for men to be pedophiles, and then go to prison for being a pedophile, or maybe they'll change it and they'll normalize it, and society will just change. And people are going to have different opinions on that. But here's the point. When I worked at Pagosa Springs, they had me running food. That's sad enough to have to run food as a 30-year-old. And the girl was 15 that was running food with me. Okay. A man is going to have a natural attraction to people coming of age, but he cannot act on it. He shouldn't even think about it. But the whole world is screaming it all the fucking time through Hollywood, and screaming at the preteen to start training herself for this world. This is an article that's from Truth Dig. This is mainstream media. I told you that this came out 10 years ago. So conspiracy men that want to run from this truth are really childish. Okay. They have been discussing this shit for a long fucking time. We're not even going to read this. I can't handle it, bro. I can't handle what's in this. All I can tell you is that female that was 15, that was bringing food with me, she was permitted to read books on the job. What book do you think she was reading on the job? I'm telling you now, that one. I walked up to the supervisor with my computer and said, well, I run a news website. It was AMTV at the time. If you're letting her, but I didn't make it about the book and rough sex, but I said, if you're letting her do that, can I do this? And she said no. And she was a big fat hog. Big fat hog who was pregnant. Big fat hog who was cold-hearted, always on her cell phone, pregnant. Living up in the mountains. Lives up in the mountains. Hates exercise. Big fat hog. Oink, oink, oink. Oink, oink, oink. And that's what I'm getting at. It's unacceptable for them to allow them. And then they bring in people into this world to become grotesque also like them. Okay. And then to be okay with little girls reading rape sex books, but then hating on a man who wants to expose World War III. It is in their DNA to be slaves, to be sex slaves. It is in our DNA to be sex slaves or slave owners. I've been saying this for 20 years. People are crazy. 3 people stopped watching in the last 2 minutes. That's the shit I'm talking about. They can't handle this truth because they feel guilty about their personal bedroom activities and they still don't get it. I told you over and over and over, what you do in your personal thing is one thing, but this obsession with like human trafficking, and I told you there's porn featuring Chinese troops, Russian troops, and African troops, and not one of you people that lean towards the great replacement theory ever tried to get the information from me as to what website that was so you can make a video about it. You understand what I'm saying to you at this time? Because you really need to get it. Next, Steve Bass hung out with me many times in Portland, Oregon. And his lust for women, strippers, things of that nature, got him in trouble over the years. He is now in prison. He claims, though, that his wife became possessed in Utah. He made threats. To his boss. He taught art in Utah. He was psychic. He sent me messages or began to scream my name the same day that I uploaded a video. The first video of this channel, of the other channel, 2025 Countdown. The first video was around November 2022. And then he posted on Twitter saying, Alex, where are you? He was psychic. He didn't know that I just uploaded, but he picked up on my energy. And my advisor here, who has some psychic abilities, said, you know, when you're online, the people that stalk you, obsess on you, they think about you. Even when you're on YouTube and you're on the computer, they begin to have thoughts about you. So if you don't want your old stalkers and haters to keep thinking about you, which caused me a lot of mental illness, the constant obsession with me from unstable people that watch my channel, they caused me to have serious mental problems through transference of energy for those that are slow and need me to spell it out for you. You cannot just sit your whole life on YouTube and be hated by people and be cursed by people and to be resented by people and for it to not take manifestation in your body as a sickness. Do you understand? Speak English? Some of you have been withholding love from me forever and just taking energy like a vampire. And I'm telling you, like, it weighs on me knowing that that's your true nature as a human, that you can't be more than that. You know what I mean? That nice guys finished last, 2 men and women and men. So Bags got involved with a carnal woman because that was his thing. And she may have become possessed through whatever sex activities. And then he got violent. But what he did was over the top with anger and got him put in the joint. Okay, so pray for Steve. And I've called for prayers for Steve more than once. Okay. We're going to go back to the Great Divide. I think it's time to close the video out. We've gone on long enough. I don't know how many I'm recording today. I'm going to guess that I have 5 hours of content today. basically I have this athletic ability from all the sauna that I'm doing.
It's just crazy.
Touched up this really high endurance for speaking and whatever's going on. Like, again, watch my videos at 2025 Countdown. I was forced to leave Walmart today also in our past. He now has to look a certain way, be on steroids, be super feminized, have dyed hair, be woke, be a fat kid, be black, be a right winger, have a Trump flag, have an LGBT flag. Everything is very copy and paste. Nothing is respecting the original outlaw man that thinks for himself. That's a good picture. I like that. Although I was thinking while I was watching that video of the girl doing the kissing, maybe I should just listen to that for 15 minutes instead of watching adventurous shit. Just, that's interesting. Oh, there we go. You can't be nice. Go through the mall again. This is what it's come to, though. This is the women on the cell phones. I'm literally seeing them at the mall, like, man, I can't wait till those phones are gone, man. I mean, people are, imagine once they take their porno away and shit, women are gonna want to bang again. All those closet porno watchers and shit. Once their diddles can't get a recharge and shit, it's on, man. There's gonna be all types of consensual sex, man. It's people are gonna be fucking just to keep the pain away, man. They're gonna be like, "Fuck me now, I need a fuck." It's going to be real nasty. People aren't going to have showers, and there's going to be a lot of dirty booties. I've had a lot of visions of a lot of nasty people that haven't had showers, fucking a lot. There's going to be a lot of nasty white women that haven't showered in months. And also other visions of the dystopian future. People are going to be forced to do horrible things just to eat and have a shower. They'll just be begging to shower, and they'll be forced to get on all fours and do horrible things by these types of cults run by evil men and women that will force them to come under their control and be bitch slapped, right? That's the future. And there is a great divide in men and women. There is a great, but really, we need to see a greater divide of good and evil. We need to see good people, godly people, start hanging out together in larger numbers and shit for safety. I've been saying this repeatedly, and I told y'all about how you can set up your own. Not that I wrote the book on it. Your own YouTube channel, website, anonymously, wear a wrestling mask, get an AI avatar. You now have, God has given you, or some geeks in Silicon Valley, but God made them, so whatever. All these tools at your disposal to wake up your community to maybe one single thing. What is it? The warehouse that's moving in, it's going to kill everybody and blow everybody up, owned by China? That one? Is that your issue? What is it? The porno store next to the school? What is your issue? I got a million issues. It just makes people dizzy. They tell me to stop talking to them after 20 minutes. They're like, dude, you've been talking enough. You need to move. No, you need to leave, or you're going to be, you need to go. When I told that big Latino guard that I was against human trafficking, they go, oh, that's what you're about. Yeah, you still got to go. Yeah, you really got to go now. There's a real alien type of like energy in a lot of humans who hates those that are against human trafficking. Like you're messing with their food. There's an energy that courses through them that you're messing with the turf. Have you ever picked up on that in your quest to wake people up about human trafficking verbally in your town, or have you ever done that? Because I don't really think that people are really understanding what I'm actually doing by these approaches with people. This is like a real thing that I'm doing in a real dangerous part of the world that many of you would never approach people. and let alone never scream at Latino men with red trucks saying that they're not superior to you. And I've been told you cannot do that. You're going to come across people that will stab you. And I know, but today was a day in which I have declared I am the ultimate man of the earth. I am the baddest man. I'm above you all. Sometimes I need a little bit of that rush to deal with the yayo. You are hot. Too bad you won't see this video. And I don't think I left you a comment. There's no point. You're too popular. You're too hot. I'll never be able to reach you. But I bet you're a lot of fun. Good night. See you later. You know what I mean? And so it is what it is. My email, ladies and gentlemen, is magicshift333@proton.me. And then I have another YouTube channel, youtube.com/@2025. And it looks like what Harry Met Sally is the thing that was on the screen. It looks like the video did not play. Again, this is an ongoing issue for me to have to fix this.
Men were already working the real jobs. Like, you're making this world more confusing and more all over the place. Like, everything is chaotic because of women, because of us. We are confusing everything, contradicting everything, and we just cannot decide what to do with it.
In my situation and men, my issues is obviously with men and women. My dad and Portland men did a lot of damage to remove trust in men, including the men in Colorado, including the men here. Men haven't done anything to build trust with me, little lady.
Ourselves.
Nothing.
We are constantly blaming men, constantly
I have no
belittling
brothers.
them, and then taking their jobs.
And think about that. I literally have an actual brother who's been programmed by another male with the penis to hate me. Now think about that. Think about that. This attack on my soul in this incarnation goes way deeper, folks, than a divide from the feminine. What a beautiful face. God.
And then taking their jobs. And we're happy with that. Like, are you happy with being bothered?
Beautiful women like that do not live here. They would never, ever live here. And if they did live here, they would cease to be beautiful and they would change. And they do. They are really freaked out by any type of like.
That's what it's come to. The whole world is
share a spiritual.
It is becoming a great divide.
Those men are fucking totally right that women don't like spirituality anymore. Like, I've been discussing the solar flares for a long ass time, and women hate that shit. You know what I mean?
Great divide of men and women. It's not the great divide of the North and the South. It's not the great divide of race. It's not the great divide of sex.
And women can't handle criticism, which is also something I saw on the tail of another video, and I can confirm that one too. So if some women come and they hear you being critical, they're like, oh, fuck this guy, I'm leaving again. Meaning that was all a bunch of fucking bullshit. Where'd AA go? Where'd AA go? Well, because cunts like you didn't give a fuck whether I lived or died. Good night.